Hi. I found you about 1.5 years ago, and it's taken my understanding of law of attraction, spirituality to a whole new level.
To a personal level.
Yeah. Life is good, and I feel good most of the time. And this year specifically, even though it's been one of the hardest years of my life, and I have a couple of relationship questions, and I believe that they're related, so if there's time. The first one has to do with my only beloved son who transitioned this year. I do feel him with me, but I guess my question is, how can I ever feel satisfied knowing that I can never hold him again or see him smile?
It really won't do much good for us to tell you that it gets better, because until it does, you don't know that. We can say some words, and we might as well, since we have everyone's attention here. And we want you to know this is the last thing about death that we're going to talk about today. And start, oh, there he is. You all have been in these bodies just a really short time, and your relationships with each other are really, really brief in this form. While your relationships with each other on a vibrational basis are so much longer and deeper and more. But since this is a perspective that you're looking at, the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching perspective, then you can't really hear us when we talk about the bigness of how long we've known one another and the richness of our relationships and the more that we all are to each other, you see. So you're focused on this scanty little, very short relationships that you have with people in physical experience, and forgetting about all of this relationship that we all are together. So that helps a little bit to realize that there is so much more. Now,
right. So that leads to the second part of this question, which is I think it would be helpful if I could understand what our relationship looks like moving forward. I mean, will we have other 3D experiences together?
Well, you see, here's the thing. This is what we meant to Esther when we said to her, stop looking for Jerry where he was and look for him where he is. And she realized that she was wanting him to turn into something that she could see. Do any of you see energy in this room? Are any of you noticing Jerry? He is so big time right here. You see him? Now, those of you who can't see him just think we're making stuff up. This is such an important question. Abraham, how can you make me know what I don't know and feel what I'm not feeling and see what I can't see? And I liked it the way it was. I liked it when I could see and hear and smell and taste and touch. Abraham, can you paint a picture? Can you weave the non-physical into something that is physical? And we get why that matters to you. As creators, you know about vibration and attraction and momentum and becoming. You know about expansion and moreness and evolution of ideas. You know about less and then more and then more and then more. So it's logical, isn't it, that this vibrational world that we're talking about, as it becomes more perceivable, more receivable, more perceptible, more translatable, more knowable, it's logical that these vibrations would turn into physical reality, isn't it? Isn't it? You see, you all, we love you so much. You've been here, out here in the manifestation for so long that it's all you want to talk about. You don't want to think about how it became. And then you only want to sift and sort the good stuff and the bad stuff in the manifestation. So you're just digging through all the piles and sorting out the piles. You're not, for the most part, we love you so much, considering the adding to. You're not thinking about the contribution that you're making as you are turning thoughts to things and the more that is becoming. Have you seen any pipelines coming in from other planets being truckloads of goods in? Is there a Salvation Army in the sky that is dropping goods into your neighborhoods? Or are you acknowledging that vibrations are turning into this reality that you are seeing and that you are creating and perceiving? Are you following us at all? When you accept that thoughts have turned to things, we understand so completely why you have become so ravenous and so satisfied in many ways with the manifested, what you want to call see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it part of physical experience. But as long as that is the thing that is ringing your bells, and for most of you, the only thing that's ringing your bells, and if you are not excited about the baby in the womb, if you're not excited about the baby in the womb, which you easily accept, how can you be excited about the baby in your arms? Well, because the baby in my arms is more satisfying to me. It gives back to me in more ways. It responds to me. It validates me. And we say, yes, we know that it does. But if you could focus upon the becoming of things, then you will step into the vibrational attitude that you have of the creative you. You are the becomer. You are the creator. You are not the having already become. And so we're just doing the best sales job that we can muster here to sort of shock you for a moment, all of you, into the realization that you are extremely short-sighted when you're only looking at what has been created. And it is so uncomfortable when something that has been created you then think went away. When the truth is, it has never gone away. It's in a different form. You've got to start looking at the reality of the energy and the reality of creation. And you've got to stop giving your undivided attention only to the stuff that's already manifested, because that's dead-ended to you. There's no more life in that. The life is still coming forward, you see. And so don't yearn for something that's been created to last forever and ever. Oh, we must preserve this. We must take care of this. We must wrap this up and be very gentle and careful with it. There will be another and another and another and bigger and better and more and more and more and more, because vibration is turning to more thoughts and into more things. And your exposure to life and your experience with life is causing the creations to be more and more and more and more, you see. So don't go back and try to regurgitate something that has been and reconstitute it and bring it back. Let it continue from where it is to surprise and delight you and fulfill you and be with you and manifest with you and show you and teach you and love you and be with you, you see. There is no ending to anything. There's no ending to anyone. We are all just coming forward and coming forward and coming forward and coming forward and coming forward. That may help you and maybe not. It depends on how focused on what isn't you are in any moment in time. But we know for sure that you're looking at this much when there's this much. There's so much more to feel, so much more to know, so much more to experience, so much more about yourselves to experience. You have such a capacity for understanding and for loving that is so much more than anything that you ever see or hear or smell or taste or touch. Everything exists. Everything that anyone wants. They want it because they believe that they will feel better in the having of it. And we're talking to you about who you really are and how you really feel. And we're asking you to find some way to put yourself into vibrational resonance with who you really are, so that you can feel how brilliant you are and how clever you are and how beautiful you are, so that you can feel that love for others too. How sad it is when you look at someone or hear about something on the television and you find your hatred for them as it's being presented, and you let that be your symbol to sacrifice your own connection as you sort of shrivel up in the absence of who you really are. There are so many things about this physical world that are beautiful, and there are so many things about this physical world that you don't want to give your attention to and that your inner being is not giving attention to. And when you do, you feel the absence of yourself in the process, you see. We know it is so delightful to find these people, these children we give birth to, and these lovers that we find, and these friends that we find around. And it is so delicious to get all tuned into source energy and to hold them as our objects of attention and to feel all of that love that we are capable of flowing through us and to them. And it feels like They were the object of attention that summoned that love through us because they were part of the reason that we felt that way. But they're not the reason that we felt that way. We felt that way is because that's how we naturally feel. And if it's not one, it's another. There are endless things for you to focus upon to feel that love flowing through you. And so if you spend your time looking for an object of attention to which you can flow that energy, you will never feel the loss of anything ever in your life. Every moment of your experience, there will be some other excuse that you're giving yourself for source energy to flow through you. We know who we are and how it feels to focus upon you, you see. We don't worry about you. We don't even know about your problems. We don't focus on your problems. We don't try to fix your problems. Because while you are stirring up your problem, the solution is being stirred up at the same time. An equivalent solution to every problem is happening in the moment of the creation of the problem. That's how this magnificent universe works. So we give our undivided attention to your solutions. And when you start doing that too, you find resonance with us and you feel great. Don't you think it's time, since every single person in this room and on this planet knows for sure that you will die? And you know for sure that everyone you know will too. Don't you think it's time to stop making that such a big, impossible factor in your life experience? Don't you think it's time to start focusing upon the fact that you're always alive? Don't you think it's time to start feeling the liveness of who you are? Don't you think it's time to start tapping in to who you really are, who you have always been, to find the fullness of who you are? We think it's time. We think this unnecessary suffering is ridiculous. And we don't mean to be disrespectful. We get it. We saw Esther pinched off from us using excuses that she couldn't control. But after a while, she just got very tired of feeling bad. So tired of feeling bad that it just wasn't worth it to go there, not even for a little bit. Not going there, not going there. She told her family and friends there are landmines everywhere. And we never know when we're going to step on one. But then she noticed that she'd step on one and hurt for a little, blow her foot off or something. And then 5 minutes later, she was feeling good again. You get to choose whether to be alive or pinch yourself off from life. And we promise you, those who you call dead have not pinched themselves off from life. They have not. All right, so we're not going to assign you anything. We're not going to say, let's not talk about this anymore. We're going to say, let's understand this newly. Let's understand that you've been making stuff up that isn't true and hurting your own feelings with it. This is a good time for a segment of refreshment.